book impressions, The Art of Doing Science and Engineering by Richard Hamming. I just started the book and I just want to say a few words, really encouraging words, actually. It's a very inspirational start of the book. The most important thing that he says is that you have to have a vision because you need to believe in something in order to do great things. The goal of the book is to give a blueprint, a mental, spiritual blueprint of how to do great work in science and engineering. There's a couple of quotes in the book that I really sort of touched me. One was the concept or the idea that you need to have a vision. And he said the accuracy of the vision is not even that important. The vision itself is what matters. And this echoes what I was talking about in one of the recent episodes about Pascal Schweitzer. Like, just believe in God. It doesn't really matter as much if God exists or not. The belief is what matters, which is really, I think, what differentiates us from pretty much any other animal or living being on Earth. The ability to believe. Now, in Hamming's way, in Hamming's construct or the way he thinks about the world, it's important to have a vision in order to do great work. And that, definitely echoes some of the greatest entrepreneurs of our time, Musk and Jobs and people like that, who always had big visions that they pursued. And then the technologies and the know-how and the skills that were necessary to get there, that's the easy part. Not that it's easy in a sense that it's easy to do, but once you have the vision, you can do it. Like, we humans have that ability to work hard 24/7 to get a job done. I think there's a beautiful analogy where he talks about the drunken sailor who goes left and right and basically mathematically kind of will be square root of n away from the initial starting point, versus a sailor, drunken sailor with a pretty girl inside will be proportional to n away from the starting point. In other words, he will get further away because he has a vision, he has something to believe in, something to pursue. Now, of course, this is a little bit of a joke here with the beautiful girl that gives him sort of the direction, but I think the metaphor is pretty clear. There's another quote which is interesting. He says, if you don't know what you're doing, if you know what you're doing in science, you shouldn't be doing science. And if you don't know what you're doing in engineering, then you shouldn't be doing engineering. So I think, again, it's a bit, it's like a two-liner, maybe a little bit over the top, but it gets the point, right? Science is a creative art where you step into the unknown, and engineering is where you're iterating around known facts. But you're not reinventing the wheel. But of course, there's a overlap here. There's an overlap in a sense that you have creativity in engineering and you also have engineering in science, of course. But overall, I think the mindset is different in engineering and science, but the vision is the same. So I think, again, very refreshing, interesting, I think encouraging words by Richard Hamming. I think he's an accomplished computer scientist, mathematician, sort of old school, von Neumann, Manhattan Project, Bell Labs type person. But it's also, I think, one last thing I want to say in this first introduction is it's really beautiful how you can read a book written by somebody who basically has been living two generations before our generation here. We're living in the times of large language models, of terafabs, of space AI, of all kinds of phenomenal innovations in compute, and then there's still a lot of value from these, let's say, older people, or not older in age terms, but just from history. And he says actually in the book, he says, look, every future will become history, every future will become the past, and you might not you shouldn't reason by analogy, but you can learn from the past because it's the best you have, right? It's the best piece of information. It's a good starting point to start learning from the past, and then, of course, add your own ideas and your circumstances. Another really, really important thing he says, and I think that's Now, this is pretty spiritual, but still very important. And that's the Buddhist quote where it's like the only thing that matters is that you can manifest your beliefs in your life. Like you have to manifest your beliefs in your life. Like it's what counts is that you internalize what you see, what you experience in life, and execute against that. It doesn't matter what other people are saying. It doesn't matter what other books are saying. What matters is that you have your belief system, and your belief system sort of you find a wavelength that resonates with reality, and your belief system. That is when you accomplish something. That is when you become a person. When you put your path. When you put the direction and the path towards something great. Thank you.